7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reversal. BHVN, 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 BHVN. Yes. Long point reversal. Long point reversal.
Good morning, traders. Welcome to the Traders Lab. I'm your host, Tom B. Can I please get a screen and audio check in YouTube in the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab? Thanks. Yeah, good morning, Stephen. Thank you. Stephen, could you please post those links in Discord and YouTube? Everyone, thanks for visiting the Trader Lab today. We got some going to try to get into things very quickly here. I just want to make sure you know that Bookmap has some exciting opportunities for you guys. There's a contest, which I'm going to talk to you about a little bit. You don't have to be a Bookmap subscriber. There's no cost. It will allow you to actually trade on Bookmap in a simulated account with prizes, free subscription to Global Plus, cash prize up to $1,000 and a lot more, free data, etc. So if you're in YouTube and you've been thinking about Bookmap, or if you're interested in getting your hands on it, this will be a great opportunity for you, and I'll go into that in a little bit. Plus, also we have the Bookmap Academy that's also available, which where you can get mentoring, where you can see what other traders, how they're using Bookmap and things of this nature. So there's a lot to talk about. So let's get going. Let's take care of business. Grab your pen and paper. I'm going to give you a couple of statistics. We had NFP today. Big report, as everybody knows. And we're going to talk about market mechanics and structured trades that are available to everyone in the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab community at no cost, along with a library of webinars, etc., and a lot more. Structured trades, so you understand, are basically setups, as we call them, that you can reverse engineer that may give you a statistical edge. Structured trades are a template, and the business of trading is a gaming business. It's not a prediction business. So it's important to understand that the business of trading is not playing a video game. It is calmly waiting for your trade that you know, because you've done the work, and this is the work part of this business, you know it has a statistical edge. And then, just like the casinos, the outcome of that one trade is random, just like the games the casinos play. But the reason the casinos succeed is they're not attached to the outcome like we are. They don't change the game because of what happened the previous hand. They just keep playing the same game. They don't have variables in the game. In other words, many of us use multiple time frames, multiple indicators, and we load everything in there to try to create certainty. And then it's not all the same at the same time. It's variables. Casinos don't run their business that way. If they are so successful, why do we not emulate a successful process? Just an opinion, past performance not indicative of future results, you know. General disclosure, all Bookmap Ltd. materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice or recommendations. Grab a pen and piece of paper, by the way. Risk disclosure. Trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of losses and not suitable for all investors. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. Please remember this is not a trade calling room. I am going to be reviewing trades that are based on the structured trades that are available at no cost to everyone. And if you're visiting in YouTube and Trader Lab, you can download these and also review a library of webinars on this process. The community in the Trader Lab is a group of like-minded traders who have come together to leverage their collective experience, and together we are better. So if you're interested in a community, there is no cost for this. Really, what it's about is you investing your time, as they say, rather than investing a dime. So let's talk about some statistics, and then let's get into it. So we had the NFP, and I'm going to talk about NFP and the reaction to it. And we're going to look a little bit at ETH because that sets up some of the opportunity and risk, of course, for today. But we opened, this is RTH, just grab a couple numbers. We opened lower inside of yesterday's range, I believe, yes, right? My charts are covered up, so I kind of lose where I am. Hold on a second. Yesterday's low. Yes, we did. We opened lower inside of yesterday's range, so lower under settlement. Sorry, guys. Too much going on here. So the probability of getting to the overnight volume point of control, that's the high volume in the ETH, and don't forget, we had the report during ETH, so it's crazy time. That's 83% probability. Checking the ETH midpoint, 83% probability. Coming back to the previous settlement, 72% probability. Getting back to the previous point of control, 70% probability. Taking out the first hour's high, 69% probability. So, and the previous high, 40%. So these are just statistics. That has nothing to do with the market in the sense of what the market will do. It's a piece. And these statistics, along with these 60 PDFs of structured trades, which I'll be discussing here, and all I do in the stream is talk about the structured trades. And why? Because there's so much more, but I'm limited on time. And also, we all have to start somewhere. And the thing about starting, it's kind of like, it's like a shakedown cruise. Can you take one structured trade and make it your trade? If you can take one and create a template and a process, you then can create a business potentially starting with one. It's like one product, or if you were opening a casino, one game. You only need one game to be profitable in the casino business if you do the work to get a statistical edge. Then you can add games. Think about it. This is the RTH open, but I want to talk about the ETH. Now, this right here, this was before the report. This level here is called a high volume node, and I call it a variable high volume node. What happened in the ETH, as you guys know, we had the report and it did the Acapulco cliff dive. This level here, before the report, was a fair price. In the auction world, and this is auction market theory, using a volume profile to see price and volume. It's not an indicator, it just tells us what the participants felt was a fair price at some time. So either currently or in the past. And let's look at what a consolidation looks like. When the volume tapers off as price goes up, that means I'm not paying that. Think about if a price is really high in the store. If it's priced too high, somebody's going to buy it, but less volume. I'm not paying that. And then the sellers, if they want to do business, lower the price. And then if the price goes on sale, the sellers don't keep the price down there too long, and the buyers start consuming the sellers. So the sellers start pulling, and then the buyers who want this is like you at a sale, and you know this is the retail price because that's where most of the business is done. On sale, back to here. Too high, back to here. This is what creates consolidations. That's market mechanics. So if this is the retail price, and here's the key to how auction might work at times. Remember, everything's random. This was a fair price. If the market falls away from it it is saying too high. I'm not paying that. We're leaving the store. And we're going to come down here now. And when we leave, and this is off the report now, it leaves this big area. That's called a low volume zone. Now, you might have heard of low volume nodes, but a zone is created when the market rips and there's no auction or no trade. It just goes, foop, and now it starts trying to figure out what is it worth over here. And it'll auction, and there's your retail price. Nah, that's too high. I'm not paying that. Let's move down to this store. What do we think about this one? Rotation. High volume. Get out of here. I'm not paying that. How about right over here? Nah, you're nuts. Let's come down here. This is what your rotation. Now, I'm just showing you a profile so you know what it represents. There's the high volume. Let's come down here in auction. I'm not paying that. Yeah, but it's on sale. I'm not paying that. You got to be nuts. Get out of here. Retail. And then what happens? It changes. Now we come back, and this is now becomes too low. Too low. Too low. So it kind of goes the other way. So the idea of the auction is price discovery. Now let's remember this low volume area. So where's the low of the day going to be? You know, don't you wish you knew? I don't know. So I can't figure that out, so it's not my job. But what do I know? The overnight volume point of control, ETH, now write these down again, 83% probability. Overnight mid, 83% probability. Naked volume point of control, which is above us at the RTH open, right? 70% probability. Taking out the first hour's high, 69% probability, and that's up here also. And getting to settle, where to go? Lost it. 72% probability to get there. So we have these things, and then you got the all-time high, you know, and all that, all kinds of fun. This is before the market opens. So now let's go. Now I'm going to share with you structured trades. Now there's a little bit more to this, of course, because I can't, you know, give you everything in a limited amount of time, and I got a lot to do here. I got to show you and mention to you guys about the contests that are happening, where you can win $1,000 and actually use Bookmap in a simulated crypto account and get to use the tool, all the bells and whistles that are available, everything. So that I'm going to share that with you shortly. So this is the RTH Open. This is that low volume zone. Now there's a couple possibilities. Now write this down, guys. The market goes up to go down. The market goes down to go up. What did we do yesterday? Yesterday the market went down and then it went up. What did it do today? Well, if it goes up to go down, we had to report you get sellers in there. The fact that we get sellers in an uptrend sets up the fuel for the squeeze, which sets up the longs. So now we don't know what's going to happen. So that's not part of trading. You know, it's like if you want to predict something, you know, good luck with that. But that's why we have structured trades. So we have order in a random environment. The order is created by a trade plan and the vetting process. So let's go take a look. Now I'm going to show you trades that are structured trades. Now, doesn't mean they're just structured trades. So some of them work, some of them don't. Some of them you might not take because of your analysis of the structure. But I'm showing you short-term fractals. I'm going to show you structured trades. The thing about structured trading is it's your time frame, your fractal. I might not take a short. I might just take the long. Or subject to my plan, I'll take the short, I'll take the long. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to show you the trades. Everyone does their own thing. And what that means in Trader Lab, we'll have traders getting short, we'll have other traders getting long. Not here, but in Trader Lab, you would know, subject to this and the statistics, remember, that this is a short or not. Interesting, isn't it? But let's watch first trade. And again, past performance not indicative of future results. You need to come to Trader Lab if you haven't, and there's a link in the bottom of YouTube. It's no cost to come to, the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab. Download the PDFs of these structured trades and reverse engineer them. If you take these on your own, they are not mechanical. You will have trouble if you approach trading as a mechanical process. It is not. And you may go, well, then how do you do it? Come to Trader Lab. So this is, let's remember, what do we have here? Low volume zone from the ETH, rejected. Too high, low volume zone. What is this, you ask? How about resistance? Because we rejected this. And here's your open. We have the overnight mid, high probability, and we have this, high probability. We got yesterday's low. We got whatever down here. So these are all viable targets. That's a target. That's a target. This is a target, And if we come in here, then we can rip everybody out. But we open, and now you're sitting here, and if you're in Trader Lab, your teeth start chattering, right? Fear, apprehension. What do I do? That's our emotional states. What you do is follow your trade plan. All the work is done outside of trading hours. And basically, it's preparation and then execution. First trade, VPOC migration. A very aggressive trade. It is not where traders should start. It is advanced because of its speed and risk. However, let's look at it. This is the RTH open. This is the developing volume point of control. Remember, what a volume point of control is, that high volume. Remember, the shopping experience. Well, now we're in micro structure. This starts at 0. So RTH open, it resets to 0. This is the session volume profile. It's going to fill in as we auction. And all it's measuring is price and volume. And remember the shopping experience. If the shoppers are over here, and here's a buyer, and now it's important, and the price is too high, they're going to leave the store. So micro volume, too high. Let's just leave this here for the moment. Actually, I got to change it. You guys got to remember that I'm going to move this just a little bit so I can get this in here. You'll see how this all fits together. Now, what I do is a narrative because I don't know what's going on. What I know is I have to get a reading on the participant view of value. Shopping. So if this is too high and I move away from this volume, this guy, this is order flow now, this buyer potentially was absorbed by the passive side. Did you ever wonder when you have a buyer and it doesn't go anywhere, what's happening? It's because the buyers are meeting passive sellers. In other words, these guys in the limit order book. You won't see them, but you got to be able, and this is how Bookmap can help you. You have to kind of go, well, there's a buyer. Why aren't we going up? You ever wonder? It's because there's sellers absorbing the buyer. And then if we run out of buyers because of the sellers, then the price is going to go down. And then the sellers are going to take over. And then it's the buyers who are going to pull their prices. It flips the other way. So let's see. Too high, retail. Let's label it. Remember, I'm under the low volume zone, which is where we ripped and fell out. So as we think about it, let's think about what the language of the market is. I don't use any indicators. So what's my indicator? It is that, the participants, not a lagging look back, curve fitted, whatever. Not saying you can't use them. Been there, done that. What I have found is if I'm here using a order flow tool and I understand market mechanics, I might have an edge over other traders who are using lagging, conflicted processes that may not have an edge. They just get random outcomes. Gamblers walk out with cash. Great. Of course. And just like you and me, even if we don't have an edge, we still win. That's why we keep doing the same thing, because we think it's just a matter of tuning, tweaking, and let me give you another term for that, curve fitting, to get it better. I call that Trader Groundhog Day. I spent a number of years in Trader Groundhog Day because I always thought, gee, I'm getting, better at this. I just got to make it a little better. I just got to make it a little better. And what is that? Curve fitting. That's what it is. So this is too fast for me to execute a short here. The thing, we're open 2 seconds here. I blink my eyes and the market's down here. That tells me I want to get short because I have a high probability target based and past performance, not indicative of future results. You got to vet everything, right? So this and this. So let's watch. So this pulls back here, VWAP mid, VPOC migration saying too high, too high, too high. This is a potential short. It fails up here. Let's watch. Well, there you go. Target, scale, target, and then hold and manage. VPOC migration. What is that? Too high, too high. Retail, let's label it. And we push off too high. This is Trader Lab. So you'd be short. And I can't see your questions. I will come up for oxygen. I'm running a number of computers here. This is the one I stream from, but I cannot see the chats. By the way, Stephen, could you please post the links for these contests in YouTube and Discord? And in a little bit, I'm going to come up for oxygen. Now, let's watch. This is now the retail price. Now, there's a couple of pieces here. So VWAP mid, this right here is the retail price. If the market's going to continue lower, you see this? It's going to come back and it has a couple possibilities. It can go down from here but look what we did. We got yesterday's low, so that's important. We have the VWAP and the mid. So there's a couple trades in the Trader Lab. We have this down, that's one. If you cross over, it's warning Will Robinson moment, and then this and this are possible shorts to come back here. I'm just telling you before we get here what's going on. So let's watch. I pull back here. Now, I have no short here, and it right here, it has to cross below to continue. Okay? So right here, it suggests rotation up. So I'm looking at this and I'm going, now I'm thinking I want to get long. Okay? Other than the short, so I got the short. And for me, this is the primary targeting. I have no clue. And anybody asks me, one of the things I always claim to fame is I'm clueless. So here's your VWAP. There's a structured trade. Remember, this didn't do it. From here or here to there. It's called VWAP to VPOC. It's in the 60 PDFs of structured trade you can download. Now, here's the issue. Subject 2. What's my range? I don't know about you. By the time I get my trigger, which is here, I have no range. I cannot take this trade. Me. You, knock yourself out. Mid. See? Now, I'm up at the mid. Where am I? Outside edge. Low volume area. Remember the shopping experience. This is retail. What's too high? And this is hard. To come back here. What's too high? Am I selling this? And to here? Not enough range. Am I selling VWAP to here? Not enough range. But here's something that you should know. This is auction-based trading. Range is something we need. The actual rotations are a function. In other words, if this was out here someplace, instead of here, the behavior is generic. In other words, the auction process works the same way. But if I'm sitting from here to here, I can't trade it. If I come out here, now it's subject to. Let's see. Out to mid, iceberg selling, 32 buy stops, and right here is the next location. What else is out here? Low volume area. What's a low volume node say? I'm not paying that. You got to be kidding. What else is here? The overnight volume point of control. If we're below it, it might be saying from the ETH, this is now too high. It's an area, not the wall. So it's not the Great Wall of China. So the current auction is telling me outside edge. This is the ETH retail price. Are you kidding? Yesterday's low. And here's the issue. You could put this trade on and we could be done here. And we squeeze. By the way, I hope you don't think we don't take stops. Very proud of the stops I take. Why would I want to take a stop? Because I want to be able to be here to take the next trade. This is a Trader Lab structured trade, and this is your scale. Then let's just see what it does. Let me show you something else. Do you see this here? This is micro. Let me take you back. I'm going to show you a little fractal. A fractal is think of them like Russian dolls. So if you're in a higher time frame, which is up, but you're trading statistics, and you're trying to go for wherever, and this is a structured trade. Why? Because we're below this. We failed in that low volume area from the ETH. I've got low volume here, same concept, outside edge, mid, retail. This is the trade. Now, how do I get into the trade? Well, if you're very clairvoyant and better than me on execution, which everybody is, by the time I recognize this, I'm here. Let's look at the fractal. Buyers are trapped here. There's the volume. I want to show you this a little better. I just want you to see now microstructure. I'm going to show it to you. I just want you to see it. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to try to rush through this. You see that right there? That's a high volume node, micro high volume. This node or high volume, in other words, chop, chop, chop is shopping in a microstructure. This is a consolidation as we think of them. But instead of it being this whole area, it's this right here. It's the same. So inside of this is high volume, right there. So it's like a VPOC or retail shopping experience. We had some buyers up here. Now in order flow world, if we don't get buying above this, they were absorbed. And we can see a selling iceberg here, small one, and buy stops at the mid. Thanks for playing. Your broker sends you a gift basket. So here's this. Now, if I'm going to execute, I may end up getting in over here. And I know I got an obstacle here. I also know this is important in this. So I'm just taking you back into this. Now let's look at the actual entry. Two ways. You're on the run. You hold your breath. Your stop is over here. Or more disciplined, since you can look at the delta here. This is the buyers that are here. These guys, but the delta is a combination of buyers, buy stops, because they're market orders. Delta doesn't differentiate. But with the stop and iceberg add-on, that to me is really a terrific tool. And MBO data from the CMB, they're tagged. So we can actually determine what's a stop, what's an iceberg, what's that kind of thing. So we can see that. So since we know that, and we see the limit orders over here. So we see limits, and then we see stops, we see icebergs on both sides of the market. So that's very useful. And then we have the heat map, which shows us the liquidity and the algorithmic behavior. So you have all these pieces. High volume, remember, is here. So let's look at the action. This is a trigger. Now let's look at the entry. And again, you have to vet these for yourself. Where's the volume? Well, look. Where did we come? Let's come back. Here's the volume. There's the high volume node. Now, this is a fractal. You will lose your mind, but this is advanced. But these are triggers. In Trader Lab, we drill on triggers. Trader Lab participants know what a trigger is, and they need to develop the discipline to wait for the location so they have the range. Now, if you're chasing the market, you're going to get in here. If you have a discipline, which is not easy to develop, you know this was too high in the micro. The market is like Russian dolls. It trades inside itself. You'd have a limit order sitting over here, and your stop would be here, and then you're coming back here, and then you're just, your helmet's on. So let's look at it. Everybody with me so far? By the way, this was the target, next target down here, besides the point. Are you guys tracking? You got questions? I'm going to take a look. Sorry for the delay, but you know how it is. How are we doing in YouTube? Are you guys conscious? Please give a thumb up, by the way. And remember, this stream is based on structured trades that are available to everyone at no cost in the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab chat, as well as the community and the library of webinars. I think before I go on, I'm going to mention, I got to mention something to you here about these contests. I think it's great. So let me try this. By the way, if I blow up, don't hold it against me. Of course, ready to blow up. It's a Bitcoin trading competition. Here's what you can win. 1 year of Global Plus subscription plus $1,000. Second place, 6 months of Global Plus plus $500. Third place, 3 months of Global Plus. Bonus prizes, extra chance to win prizes. Tuesday prize, $250 for the best P&L. Wednesday, $250. And then there's rules, and it's going to be on a Bookmap trading simulator. Competition's free of charge. You get access to the simulator and all its features at no cost, and you receive free data. I kind of like that. And then there's, what's the thing? What's the quote rules? I think it's awesome. So if you guys are interested, you want to strut your stuff, if you've never tried Bookmap, this is a great way to get your toe in the water, and it's free. I suggest, if you're inclined, you use the link. It's posted there in YouTube and Bookmap, and click on it, register, and go from there. There's also the Blue Jacket, and the Blue Jacket is available also. It is mentoring in the Bookmap Discord community, the ability to also win free subscription, and it's about posting how you use Bookmap, your executions, on the product, and strutting your stuff. There's a link there if you're interested in that, also in YouTube and the Bookmap Discord chat. Now, I'll mention this again later, but I think you should register if you're interested in that. I'm interested in it. And they said, no, you can't do it. Huh. Okay. Hope I didn't lose that. Maybe I did. Hold on. Let me just see if I did. No, I didn't. Okay. Sorry, guys. Questions, and then I will continue. That's what we call a brief intermission. How are we doing in YouTube? Please give a thumb up if you're conscious and you haven't passed out. Johnny, if you're asking me about the Academy member, that is only for the Blue Jacket competition. And to become an Academy member, you just register for it. And then that's how you register for that. For the crypto contest, that's open. You don't have to be a member of anything, just register. The link is up there in YouTube, and it's also in the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab chat. And please give a thumb up, very important for the stream, and it helps us continue the stream and the no-cost Discord community and my mentoring. So right here, so this is the short. Now remember, in Trader Lab, I mean, what I have done in Trader Lab is shared processes and structured trades. And the idea of a structured trade is there's no such thing in trading. And if you've been doing this for any length of time, you've probably figured this out. You can't replicate what somebody else does. You do need to find what fits your psychology. There are some traders who want short-term rotations. There's other traders who put a trade on and go out to lunch. I'm not mentioning names, but we have a number of those in the Trader Labs that it'll be more, in other words, it's fractal. So one person's trade might be 10, 15, 20 points. Somebody else might be in there for 3, 4, 5 points. However, all trades start the same way. And the point I want to make is when you look at charts, and we all think, oh, multiple time frame, right? Well, take away the numbers, take away everything, take away the time, just put them next to each other. They're all the same. So the only difference in the behaviors is the range, right? Because if you put them all next to each other, whether it's a week, a month, 15 minutes, 30, 1 minute, 30 seconds, they all have the same appearance. That is called fractals. So if we understand how the market works, we can determine what range of rotation that we want to operate in. So that's why you can scalp, or you can be more of a swing-oriented trader. Now, I'm a day trader. Most traders in Trader Lab are day traders because we want to take advantage of being able to use microstructure for triggering and potentially catch larger rotations. So let's talk about this short. So this is a short. This is your obstacle. If it doesn't come out here, you're in for the ride. Having a great time, Lewis. Going to zero. What do? Let's talk about trade management. Now, here's the other piece. What is the higher time frame trend? It is up. What is remember the top of the stream? What does the market do? It goes up to go down, and it goes down to go up. Why would it go down to go up? Buy stops. Everybody gets upside down. That's good for us. What do our statistics say? Previous close, 72%, that's settlement, probability. Previous point of control, 70%, all that's above us. The first hour's high, 69% probability. And the previous low was 53%, this. So we are leaning to the upside. So I know any shorts I take, I got to have on a leash. And again, I don't know anything. Why? Because I cannot know. Not knowing, and I use the term clueless, is not a statement of ignorance. It's a statement of being open and not myopic, of being flexible, of knowing it's a random outcome. Think how the casinos operate. They don't know. Neither do I. And if you've been in this business, it will be helpful for you mentally to know you don't know either. It takes you off the hook from predicting. It puts you in a space of random outcomes, which is what the real world of gaming is. Casinos don't know the outcome of the next hand. They don't know what comes out of the deck or anything else. They just know they only play games that have an edge, and they know over a large sample size, the dollars flow from the gamblers to the house, even though the gamblers walk out with cash. How about that? Can you think the same way? So coming down, short, you get risk neutral. Now you manage your trade. Let's look at trade management, microstructure, and then I'm going to come back into the longs. So let's look at the language. Here's your trigger. This is your location. This is the entry. The stop is here. Now what? Stop is here. We come down here. Now, this is a scale or, and I give you the or, and we're below yesterday's low, right? Going to zero. Who knows? Pull back here. Retail price. Below VWAP, below mid. Let's look at what we see here. Where's my last buyers? Up here. There's the delta. See? They're stuck. Here's a buyer. What happened to this guy? Under the bus. Thanks for playing. Brokers are going to send you a gift basket. Sellers are in control here. Okay? So I'm using order flow and location and these guys on the hook. So this was the last place the buyers took a shot. All right? Not so good. They were absorbed. There's the selling iceberg. Here's how the pieces come together. Sellers going to zero, Lewis, below the developing volume point of control, below the VWAP, below the mid. Where's my buyer? Okay, I get a rotation. I get some buy stops. No, nothing. Zippity-doo-dah. Where's my buyer? My last buyer was in this consolidation. And what happened here? Look at the language. Look at the seller. Look at the pullback to the volume, to the seller. No buyer. Sellers. Where's my volume? Here. What do I come back to? This is fractals. So, too high. And this is a sidebar. I'm going to get in a broader stroke, but I want you to see how you narrate the market. What's my indicator? I don't have one. What am I doing? I'm just reading the participant behavior. This is language, guys. And indicators are fine. But when you take your brain out and you plug in an indicator, you are now dependent on a lagging indicator to translate market mechanics and behavior. Well, I found that I might do better if I know what happens right here. And then when I break and come back and test it, I know it's too high. And I see my seller here. I see my volume. Where's my buyer? I break. There's my seller. Seller going to zero. Here's the target, by the way. There's my buyer. Uh-oh. Warning, Will Robinson. Come back here. Buyer. So, let's look. Too high. I'm not paying that. Volume. Break lower. Too high. I'm not paying that. Volume. Break low. We don't take it out. I'm not paying that. Get out of here. Seller. Too high. Test. Buyer. I'm not paying that. Seller. Buyer. I'm now seeing some more buyers. I'm not paying that. Sellers. Buyers. Seller. I'm not paying that, and I'm not paying that. Sellers. Volume. Seller. Break high. Buyers. Sellers under the bus here. See the change in behavior. Trailing stop, wherever you do it, and this is what you have to vet, you get taken out. Now you're out, and I see a big change in behavior. Done with the shorts. Now let's see about the longs. Come back to the mid. What do we anticipate at the mid? Sellers. Now, here's a possibility. Short here. Same trade. What's above here? Buy stops. What will be above here? Buy stops. Where do I come back? Overnight volume point of control. What's out here? Low volume. What else is in low volume? Stops. It's not auctioned. Do we know? Is this the high of the rotation? Don't know. Let's see. Same trade. Same trade. Do you have range? And what about these buyers? Is that a change in behavior? Now, here's the thing. If you're trading mechanically, and this is not saying you can't take a short here in the Trader Lab, but this is your obstacle. When you come across, it sets up a condition. Now, let's assume we're currently in a developing downtrend. Let's assume we come outside, and this is called mean reversion. It is outside in trading. So out, and you don't know until you know. So this is the beauty of having the benefit of hindsight. Right here, it's going to zero. When it crosses over, it has changed. It is now rotational trading. And the idea of rotational trading is to come out and rotate. But you're not too far outside, are you? This is a bit of a problem. Now, I'm showing you structured trades. Here's the qualifier. Do you have range, and are you ignoring this? That's all I can tell you. So let's look. Let's assume, let's look at our trigger. Here's my seller. Here's my buyer trapped up here. Let's see. I do not have a trigger. Did it come back? No. Now, unless you're jumping in, and again, I suggest, see, look at this. Now, you got to really get your stuff together to trade this. Here's the trigger. Look, you're looking at this. High volume, microstructure. Where's my seller? I don't got him there. Up here, high volume, microstructure. I got a seller there, but it's nothing. Still going up. What's the difference between this and this? Nothing. I get a seller here. Change. Break. Pull back to the microstructure. Mere mortals would end up getting short here. So for me, I need it to come back. See? So I can't take this. Let's watch. Where does it come back? There. So let's watch the trade. You take a stop. So this is not a trade I took. I'm not saying you can't. I'm saying as you take a stop. No such thing as not taking stops. It is a structured trade. And if anybody took it, that's life in the fast lane. Now, we cross above. Notice this. Your buyers, this is what made me not want to get short. Besides, the higher time frame is up, right? By the way, if you have questions, post them. I'm going to be stopping again. I'm going to start talking about the longs. How we doing? Questions, guys. How we doing in YouTube? Please give a thumb up. This is auction market theory. This is the Trader Lab process based on integrating structured trades, understanding how the market works, why it does what it does, and how you might get in alignment with it, and also building the business side of trading. Trading is business. It's not a video game. You know, I mean, it might be for some, and that's okay. But I think there's better ways to get entertainment. Go to the casino, get the cocktails, get the ticket to the buffet, maybe even tickets to Adele. That's gambling. This is about the business. We want to be sitting on the house side of the table if we can, versus entertaining ourselves and being gamblers. I always say, if you're going to gamble, go to casino. They'll take good care of you over there. Why do you think they give you the cocktails? And they pay the gamblers. I mean, the gamblers walk out with a suitcase of cash. They don't change the game. They don't skip the next hand, but we do. We do everything that is not. Hold on. Okay. Here is the change in behavior. I'm going to show you. Let me show you. Where is it here? You know, I don't have my trading platform in front of me. I'm going to show you these trades. Now, there's other ways to do this. I'm just going to show you a trade I took. This is a variable high volume node. Remember, it was too high. Also, there's more. Let me scooch this down. Remember, the low volume area where the stops are, that was right at the open at the high, which I marked as a variable high volume node. So there's one here that was too high. This is sort of a concept of support and resistance, but it's not based on a line on your chart. It's really based on participant behavior. So this is too high. We left it. And remember, the edge of that low volume, which is not auctioned, starts here and goes up. This right here was too high. If the volume here is too high and I cross over the VWAP in the mid, I have the possibility, and this, the overnight volume point of control, in other words, retail in the ETH, all the reasons I was on the short side now are starting to go away, and this is my resistance. If I cross above this and test it, there's a possibility to get long here. There's a possibility to get long here. But let's see what happens. Just watch the behavior, see what you see. Nobody, anything can happen, right? We break above it. So let's watch. So I have the ability to get long here. No bueno. And now I break up. I pull back here. I took a long here. Right? Here. Absorption here. Sellers tried here. They got stuck. This is a location for a long. This is the outside edge under here and here. So the locations for the long are here and here. So I took this. So let's look at it. And now let's talk targets. Into this low volume zone. So here. So it was here. You could also get long here, right against this level, back at the open. So I got long in here, and let's just say you could get long here. Where? Why? This. See it? Alignment. Alignment. So this is a test of the lower one. This is a retracement. Is this price? Remember, what's too high becomes too low. It's your support and resistance. I just do it a different way. Now, what's my statistics? Let's come back to the stats. This, you wrote this down. This is the previous point of control, which is a term for retail. If the price in the developing time frame is too low, and I check it, and it's like, oh, that's too low. We're sold out. You can't buy your tuna fish here. Then we're going to come back to the last area that was a fair price, which was here. And that probability is 70%. You got to vet this for yourself. Then we have the first hour's high. I'm giving you statistics. This helps us turn the barge in the potential direction. 69% probability to take this out. Then we have gap to settle. And then we have, this was a high volume node. Same thing as these variable high volume nodes, except from the ETH. Next target is here. Yesterday's high. ETH high. Next target. Where are we here? I think that's it. Don't know. So let's look at it. VPOC migration. What is this? Too low. Let's follow the story. What's this? New retail price. Too low. This is a Trader Lab structured long. Right here. It's an add or a long. Here is your target. There, and then hold. Subject to your plan. Just saying. Let's watch it. These are all in Trader Lab. You can, enjoy yourself with these. And the next target is this. You'd be out. Now there's more. I'm going to stop and come up for oxygen again. How we doing, guys? You getting something out of this? This is Trader Lab. These are structured trades. This is available to all of you at no cost in the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab chat. This is structured trading. No questions? Okay, thumb up in YouTube, by the way, guys. Let's continue. So, target. Now, let's look. I think there was another. Oh, yeah, this. I talked about this in Trader Lab right before the stream. I want to show you the same fractal behavior. And I posted this. Now, remember, I don't call trades, right? And the reason is, I'm going to say I'm as clueless as everybody. And the reason I don't call trades, there's no magic. There's nobody has a, shall we say, a lock on nirvana. So this is retail price. We break under it. So what that says is, let's label it too high. Now, I already hit my upside target, which was the overnight high. Okay, so that's all good. I'm going to label this variable high volume node. Just follow the yellow brick road. That's a term. So if that's too high, and how do I know it's too high? Because the volume point of control shifts down to here. So this is the retail price. This is too high. What might happen? Remember where I was getting long against variable high volume nodes. Well, on the other side of that, if I get a VPOC, which is the same, and this was too high, what is the potential of the market? To go, oh, it's on sale, or no, this is retail. Sorry, this is the retail price. The nature of the market is to come back and check this. This is what I was talking about in Trader Lab. And I ask questions. I don't call trades. I say, well, what is this? You know, and I get answers, and other traders are going, I don't know, which is fine because this is how we learn. And then it's screenshot. Understand. Let's look at this. This is retail. Where was it too high? Here. This is a long to here for a scale in alignment. The next target is here because there's going to be stops out here and then potential continuation. Let's look at it. Pull back to where? Here's your volume. Here's your sellers that are trapped, order flow. Let's look. This is your location. If you can't buy it here, which is perfectly legitimate, how do you enter? There. Liquidity comes in the book. 715 icebergs going off. And I'm going to go, hello, long to here, to here. Pull back to here is called the IB continuation trade. Long, long. There's more, but I think that'll give you the idea. And this, let's look from the other side. Here's high volume here, selling trigger. So let's think about this. I'm taking you into fractals. So long here or long there, scale here, stops at IB high, next target. Pull back, absorption, long, stop needs to stay under here or under here, subject to. Watch. Now what? So you think it's going to the moon, Alice? Maybe. Let's watch. So right here, I have my buyers, seller, buyer. Looking great, Lewis. Seller. These guys are now on the hook. Sellers take over. Warning, Will Robinson moment. Where's my high volume? It's right there. See it? So if I come back here, and the nature of the market is to always potentially, randomly, come back. It doesn't have to do anything. Check these levels. So let's see if it does that. Might not. Don't know. And there's no precision. It might only come back here where the buyers got trapped, you see. So there's no exact anything. But when I see this, I know they're stuck. I know the buyers over here, this is buying. They got stuck. I know the sellers took control here, microstructure. And I know the last gasp for the buyer was there. I know the volume is here. So if I come back here, this might be a problem, and I might want to get out. Or, and this is the or my stop is outside, and I'm going to ride through whatever happens and take my lumps, if you know. So let's look from the other side. Support. So resistance, support. This is a long in Trader Lab. This is a potential long. That is your resistance. Let's watch the behavior. Oh, well, there you are. How about that? Shows you what I know. You know what I know? Maybe. And you know what else I know? Obstacle. So if I'm long and I have this, I know if I got long for a continuation trade, I wouldn't know it on this long, But if I got long here, I have structure here, and I have to scale. So I can get long here, and I'm over this level, add support. I'm over this level, add support. I held this level, add support. This was resistance. You see the reaction. This is a long. I take this out. It becomes support. This is support. This is support. This is resistance. These follow me? All structured trades in Trader Lab. I get through this. There's my scale. You see it? Long scale reaction. Oh, it's going to zero. What does it do? Holds this. Here's your high volume here. This is too low. Longs, 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 and then helmet in alignment with the trend. And that's it. And then resistance is up here because let's go back and look at the structure. This is where the sellers were activated. These buyers were absorbed. You see? So if I'm coming back up, I could be done with the trade up in here and not even think about it. I'm okay with that. This is Trader Lab trading. Are you guys okay with that? It's a 15-point trade. That's Trader Lab structured trading. It may not be anything you're interested in, but I find I like to get the broad stroke. I'm not interested. I'm interested in executing at locations. I don't want to execute in noise, though at times we do and we take stops or whatever happens. But here's the thing to think about. For the Trader Lab, most of the time, the risk is constant. Where's your opportunity? The opportunity is in the bigger range to make up for the stops you will be taking in this, And if you're trading from here to here, does that pay? It does not pay for me. It keeps me busy, but I'm not here not to be bored. I'm here to be disciplined and only trade my trades. 1,000 icebergs went off here. You'll notice the liquidity's coming back in the book, so we can anticipate potentially more icebergs selling. That's why I would be out of the long, and I'm not going to sweat it if he just keeps on trucking. Questions, and let me mention again about our contest. Post your questions. And if you're in YouTube, please give a thumb up. We have a contest I'm going to talk to you guys about. This is Trader Lab. These are structured trades, and they're available to everyone to download in the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab at no cost, plus the library of webinars, which I think is pretty cool. You see why you might be taking a profit here? Previous high. I don't have a problem with that. It's a 15-point trade. Now, I'm just saying it's one way to trade, but I don't know where the high of the day is. Do you? I do know. See, here's the thing. I know what happened here. I know we had big icebergs selling. It is possible they will reactivate or not. So I just take a profit. Now, that's not a recommendation. You have to follow your own plan. And this thing can go anywhere, In fact, if I look up in the book, I don't see any resting liquidity up here at the moment. So there's really nothing sitting up here in the book. All I have is what happened here. I got some liquidity up here, okay? 300 are sitting out here at 88. Who knows? May never get there. It's not my job. I'm going to show you this opportunity for you guys. See the behavior? This is why I would be out here. And again, it's not a recommendation. This is auction mechanics, understanding order flow, using a high-tier tool like Bookmap, which for me is absolutely important to helping me trade, to see the full picture. If I'm using candles or something, do I know what's going on inside of it? Absolutely not. Am I waiting for 5 minutes or 3 minutes because I'm enforcing time on top of the participants? No, I don't use time. Time is irrelevant. What is relevant? Buyer and seller interaction. Where is it taking place? Here. What happened to these buyers? Absorption. Where's the liquidity in the book? Here. Where's my icebergs? There. I'm out. How about you? Were you in? If you're in Trader Lab, you don't have to, obviously, you need to vet the trades, but it's like waiting for a bus. Your trade shows up, time to go to work. You don't have a trade, time to sit on your hands, preserve your equity and risk capital for a opportunity that presents itself that might have a statistical edge. And how do you know it has an edge? You've done the work. That's Trader Lab. That's the business of trading. So if you're interested in the business, that's Trader Lab. And I invite you all to use the link in the bottom of YouTube if you're interested in visiting Trader Lab and join this community. It's no cost. I think no cost is good. How many subscriptions are out there? How many chat rooms have you been in? How much have you paid for an education? And the other part of it is how much of it are you actually able to use, and are you profitable? Consistently profitable because it has an edge, or is it just randomness? This is the crypto contest. It's open to everybody. It's a Bitcoin trading competition. You need to register. It's 100% free. You would install and activate the Bookmap desktop. It is a simulator, and it's you'd actually have access to Bookmap. Free data. It's all included. And here's what you can win. $1,000 cash, 1 year of Global Plus, that's all the bells and whistles, 6 months of, or second place, 6 months, $500, or 3 months of, full subscription. Bonus prizes, and of course, recognition. There's rules. It's a simulator, and you can download it, Bookmap Simulator. And then you just check out the rules. There's a link in the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab, and also in YouTube. And if you ever wanted to try Bookmap, this is it. This is the way to do it. I would say jump on it. I've never seen them do this before that I'm aware of. I know we've had contests, of course, but I don't think I've never seen these kind of prizes. At least I can't recall. This is awesome. So if you want to try Bookmap and maybe pick up some cash, if you're the winner, and even if you don't win, you win if you try a high-tier order flow tool. I think, the thing is, we're in the business of competition. How do you compete? You got to be better than the other guy. You got to understand how the market works. Most retail traders never get there because they think it's a business of indicators, plug and play, and curve fit. Oh, I'm going to tweak it, make it better. I'm going to assure you, based on the failure rate of retail traders who all do the same thing, that there's nothing new in the world of canned retail indicators. Every toolbox has pretty much all the same thing or derivatives of it. How's that working out for you? Potentially, you notice this is where the profit was. What does your indicator tell you? Order flow told us to be out here. Now, it may just pull back and keep going. Doesn't matter to me. If you were along with the last structured trade in Trader Lab, here, would you be okay with that? To there. That's the trade. What happens from there? Up to you. I should say, what you do is up to you. What the market does is not up to anybody. It's up to the participants, and we cannot predict it. But the order flow told us what to anticipate. The icebergs came back in because we recognized their behavior. This is the absorption detector showing us the buyers, and there's the liquidity. You see how all the pieces come in? Order flow, they're dropping down. Pressure. Buyer, I want some more, and they go here. They're absorbed. That's the icebergs in the limit order book, and now our buyers at the moment are done. That's that. It's not a short unless it's in your plan. For me, it's just get out of Dodge and think about my pizza for this evening. Please give a thumb up in YouTube. Visit the Trader Lab. If you're not satisfied with your results. Now, there's another little thing going on here I got to show you. It is called the Blue Jacket competition, I think. Yes. This is where you get recognition. You get 3 months of Global Plus with free stocks and futures data. And basically, you would join the Bookmap Academy, and whether you're a beginner or seasoned pro, doesn't matter. You can win the blue jacket, and that kind of gives you status in the Bookmap Discord community. And it's starting now. And basically, you get in the academy, you get coaching and mentoring also. And they're looking for screenshots of order flow analysis, videos up to 60 seconds long. And the community will, what are your setups? What are you doing? And how do you get the most out of Bookmap platform? So, and here's the prizes. Invitation to the Bookmap Academy. It's an elite team of traders. A $600 subscription value, 3 months of Global Plus, stocks and options data, and you get the blue jacket. I'm still waiting for mine. I don't know what that means. Well, actually, and you just have to register for that. And of course, no cost for that. So we have some great things going on here. And I think if you don't have Bookmap, the crypto one is everybody. You can get your hands on Bookmap and Bitcoin competition, and you have the opportunity to win $1,000 cash in a 1 year of Global Plus, plus others. So I wanted to mention that to you. Please give a thumb up in YouTube. And there's a link in the bottom of YouTube. You can visit the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab. Here's what you get. 60 PDFs of these structured trades that you're seeing here that I narrate every day here in the stream. And the idea of this stream is to show you there's method. If there's method, there's process. If there's process and you can codify it, it can become consistent. If it's consistent, you can measure it. If you can measure it, you'll know if you have an edge. If you have an edge, you can develop the confidence to execute, to manage your fear. When you have no metrics and you are gambling, you are going to be under control of your fear and your emotional states. We are all emotional beings. We are all under our emotional states. We are all fearful. We are all chemically induced emotional states, and it's part of our wiring. Casinos are not doing their business based on how they feel or the chemicals that are released in their brains. We are running into the burning building instead of running out. That's what risk is. We are running towards the saber-toothed tiger and grabbing it by the tail, not running the other way. We are wired. This is counterintuitive. So how do you get control? Statistics. The statistics make a nebulous, random environment tangible. If it's tangible, that means there's a number that you have proven to yourself, even though the outcome of the next interaction with these participants is random. Statistically, you would know where your next trade is. And our last trade in Trader Lab, at least what I show in the stream, and there's more, by the way, this is the broad stroke. And I think you could do okay if you do the work, and past performance not indicative of future results, to take this long structured trade, scale here, off you go, resistance here, pullback here is another structured trade. So long, resistance, scale. So long, scale. To where? Who knows? Back here, long, resistance, scale. You see the method. It's all process and based on auction. No indicators. What's this? Resistance, liquidity, hasta la vista, see you later, give me my pizza. Lunch. That's Trader Lab trading. If you're looking for action, by the way, are you looking for action? Not a good business for that. That's gambling, video games. But let's talk about a short. This is not let me put it to you this way. My objective and the objective of Trader Lab is to help you become a professional trader. What happens when you understand market mechanics? You can trade this short Why would you? Now, this is not a structured trade. It is a fractal. This gets more advanced. Why would I exit here? If I would exit here, I have choices. I can just put the car in the garage and say it's been wonderful, been a great day, or what do I know? Stops are in this leg. Now I'm taking you into a fractal. It's not a recommendation, and I don't recommend this to anybody unless you're already profitable with the broad stroke. Once you understand market mechanics, if you would exit somewhere, might that also be a potential reversal? Remember, let's take this in fractals. The market goes up to go down. The market goes down to go up. What did we do yesterday? The market went down, it went up. What do we do this morning? So the market went up yesterday to go down today. The market went down. What is it doing? It went up. Fractal. What did we do here? Market went up. What does it do? Goes up to go down. If it goes up to go down in a fractal, where's my stops? Where's my swings? What about the longs in this leg? Where do they keep their stops? Here, here, here. If this is a little different, this is more advanced. If I got short, let's look at it. Not a recommendation. Absorption. Icebergs. Remember the reason for the exit. If I see my seller and I look at my delta and I look at my micro high volume, do you see something familiar? This is a reversal. There's my seller. Now, I'm not advising, which I don't, or recommending anybody get short. This is a potential short. Stop is up here. And then where's my fuel? Swings, swings, swings. Is this logical? This is advanced, but this is advanced Trader Lab. It's all, once you understand market mechanics, and by the way, this is not a 3-month endeavor. This is going to take you time. These are not trades developing traders should take. This is what profitable traders can build into using advanced concepts of the same thing. The market works in fractals. Think of Russian dolls. It trades inside of itself. Well, once we understand the behavior, it is all the same. This is an exit for your long or a short. And why would we get short? Because of the longs. Market goes up to go down. Market goes down to go up. Well, right now, we're doing the down. Don't know where the go up is going to be. I'd be interested in the go down. And if I was not visiting with you right here, I'd be on this short. But I have more practice at this than you do. I started trading in 1980. So, more screen time, you might say. So this is, but how do you do this? Let's talk about the how. This is very different from what we start with as retail traders. We all start with indicators and we think plug and play, right time frame, right mix of indicators, and boom, I have an ATM in the basement. I don't think that's realistic. I don't know what you think. I'm just saying, never worked that way for me. And I've done everything on the planet, maybe not everything, pretty much. If you've done it, I've done it. And I created trading systems. I managed funds. I was a fund manager. I understand systems and designing and process, conditional behaviors, and optimizations, data sets, walk forward testing. It did all that. And what I found was the defects in these things. I believed that was the right thing to do. So I came into this and continued certain beliefs that actually were impediments, but I didn't understand. I was trying to fit trading into a box that I believed was the right thing, when I didn't understand early on that this was not a prediction business, this was a gaming business. Part of that had to do that when I first started in trading, I took a course in classical bar charting at the CME, and that's measured moves. So I kind of started with a foundation of prediction. Head and shoulders, you measure this to that, the head, the neckline, bingo bango, breaks out, right? Right. So I came into it with a belief, and I kept trying to build things around a belief that turned out to be defective. Now, I'm not saying that a head and shoulders doesn't work sometimes, I'm not saying that a Fibonacci retracement, or extension doesn't work sometimes. What I found was when I removed all of it and simplified it to this, I saw things clearly, even though it's random. Then I could measure it because I didn't have random variety of inputs. I took everything off my screen. No moving average, no oscillators, no RSIs, no Fibonacci, no Elliott wave, nada, zippo, nothing. Hard to do because it's kind of like a security blanket. You believe in something, you can't let it go. I learned market profile in maybe mid-1980s or somewhere in there from Peter Stottlemyre. And let me tell you, I was so smart. I kept my indicators. And I said, well, I'm going to make this better. Notice what we did. This is a counter trend trade. What would you do? You manage it. You see this? Time to get out of Dodge. This is a profitable trade, but you would know your counter trend. So in Trader Lab, I think, obviously the better trade to trade with the trend, but we know the market gets lopsided and there's fuel under the market by longs who are trailing their stops. This is an okay trade, but you got to know you're kind of stepping into the wind. You'd still is okay. It's 10 points. I don't have a problem with that. And I would trade this. But I don't try to, and it can, where's the stops? VWAP and mid. But I don't hold on to these. I'm just sort of like a subway purse snatcher. And we know the longs are here. What else do we know? If we get here, we can anticipate buying. Where's the stops? Here, 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 here. So maybe, and this is part of the joy of trading, maybe we're still going to get these guys out and we're going to get these guys out. You're going to be able to keep an eye on that. Please give a thumb up on YouTube if you're finding this interesting. Click on the link in the bottom of YouTube if you want to access the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab. There's no cost. You can download the 60 PDFs of structured trades, access the library of webinars, and become part of a community of like-minded traders who are looking to leverage their collective experience. Our senior trader has over 54 years. I've got going on 45 years. I'm still a kid, and I'm still working on getting better. I'm still doing research. I'm still developing processes and a lot of other things. And I want you to know, over the years, I've had the privilege of working with some really smart, sophisticated individuals in this industry. Hedge fund managers, quants, basically rocket scientists, guys, physicists, math geniuses. And I'm talking genius level where, you almost can't have a conversation with them because they're so far out there. We are competing against the best minds in the world. You need not to be doing, in my opinion, what everybody else is doing who doesn't succeed and thinking that persistence is the answer. It might have nothing to do with your persistence. It might have to do with your process. And if you're not successful, or even if you are and you're not getting consistent results in a random environment, I suggest you visit the Trader Lab. Please give a thumb up in YouTube, by the way. I'm going to show you what these PDFs look like briefly, and then I'm going to come back to this right away. You can access these in the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab. They are available at no cost. These are structured trades. Now remember, I'm not a vendor. There's no cost. This is not, subscribe to the chat and, all the hocus pocus and nonsense that's out there in the inner world, all the one thing you need to be, if anybody goes on YouTube, I don't know about you, but it's obnoxious and ridiculous. Instagram and all that. There's tons of garbage. Now, the problem with that is you can spend the rest of your life going nowhere and going down dead ends. You can do that you could do that on your own, or you can just pay somebody else to help you do that. Or you can step back and say, am I waking up with Trader Groundhog Day? Am I doing the same thing and derivatives of a process that might be defective? The only way you know that is, what's your results? Have you turned the corner? Can you say to yourself, I have a business now, or is it I'm still, now you're always going to work on it, but can you become profitable? Can you become consistent? Can you learn to manage your emotional states? That's the question. If you're not doing it, and maybe you want to try something different, and you don't have to invest a dime other than your time, click the link in the bottom of YouTube, visit Trader Lab. You might find it might change your outcome. And here's the thing for you. Come to the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab chat. Use the link in the bottom of YouTube. Ask in there, what is your experience? Ask the other traders, what is it like to be in Trader Lab? What have you learned? What do you wish you've done differently? Etc. What about the Trader Lab? Has it helped your trading? Are you successful when you weren't before? Are you in the same place? What's going on? And you're going to get the full range of answers. There's traders in Trader Lab who, subject to their developing skill set, are not profitable, of course. There's other traders now that are embarking on a successful career in the business. There's traders in Trader Lab who are now running prop accounts and are extracting dollars out of their prop accounts when they weren't profitable previously. We have a full range of traders. So would it help you to come to Trader Lab and find out what they're doing? Do you see why this is advanced? It is a short for an advanced trader, but it's not a short anybody should take unless you can manage it. So this is counter trend, you see. Now, do we have a long here? Let me look. This, I'm going to say no, but I am going to say the last structured trade is here and here. This is a short or an exit. This is out in space. You can execute if you have a plan for this, but this is advanced, and let's just assume this is not, you should not be getting involved here unless you have a plan for it. For me, this is, at least from a structured trading point of view, notice the icebergs. There's no long here. Let's watch the behavior here. Final questions, guys, and please give a thumb up if you're in YouTube. Remember, the contests are open. There's $1,000 prize for first place. It's for Bitcoin. You can actually use a Bookmap simulator. Data's included. You can try the product out. It's really phenomenal. I really encourage you guys, and I think $1,000 is also quite nice. So you got 2 hours to register, I think. And here's what you have. 1 year Global Plus subscription, $1,000, 6 months. And go to the link in YouTube or the Bookmap Discord chat. And there's rules. It's a Bookmap simulator, fully functioning. It's free. And there's the rules. You can check it all out. And I think it's a great opportunity for you to try Bookmap, kind of see what it does, and if the kind of additional insight it can provide. This would be your target, but I have no structured trade here. But, can you see how order flow might help you? Now, there's a reasonable shot we're going to take these guys out, but it's a target. It's a target. Are you guys tracking? Thumb up, please, in YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Click the link in the bottom of YouTube. Remember, these streams are available exclusively to Bookmap Discord Trader Lab participants to review. These are not out in the public space. And this is part of Trader Lab. There's personal, I should say, group coaching and mentoring. It's a community of traders that leverage their experience. We all work together to get better. There are no, quote, experts. All we have is an understanding of the business and the ability to understand this is gaming, and you have a choice. Which side of the table do you want to sit on? Do you want to sit with the gamblers, or do you want to move over and sit on the other side with the house, extract a statistical edge, and only interact with the other participants or the gamblers when your game shows up that has an edge? And of course, past performance is not indicative of future results. You got to vet everything for yourself, but that's the beauty of Trader Lab. There's a team, and we are there to help everybody as best we can succeed. And then it's up to you to come to Trader Lab, roll up your sleeves, and decide if you want to have an opportunity to be in this business and create a career. Thanks for visiting Trader Lab. Appreciate you guys. Click the link in the bottom of YouTube if you want to take advantage of Trader Lab and the Bookmap community. Also, please give a thumb up on the way out. Let me know that this has been useful. And if you have any final questions or anything, post them in the chats. Thanks again, guys. Have a super weekend. Trader Lab, thank you so much for being who you are, what you are, and for making this community great. See you all on Monday. Trade safe. And if you don't have a trade plan, think about what you're doing this weekend. And if you don't have a statistical edge, maybe it's time to draw a line in the sand and determine maybe do something different. Thanks again, guys. And don't forget to give the thumb up. Appreciate it.